All right, we are ready. Hey, player, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh. Every single week, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, I'm going to be covering 5 things to do before you try again with a girl that friend zoned you. So let's set the stage right here. If there's a girl that you like even, but she's put you in the friend zone. She told you that she sees you as a brother, or she just doesn't like you, or she likes someone else right now, and you guys are better off as friends, or you guys are better off just being besties or something of that nature where you're not dating them. You might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, what do I do now that I'm in the friend zone? How do I kind of fix this situation? Better yet, how do I change the situation so that I could potentially date this person? I'm going to walk you through how to resolve those kinds of questions and issues by giving you 5 things that you need to start doing. But before I do that, I want to give shout outs to all the early birds here in the chat. So if you're someone that's just jumping in right now, if you're someone that's been part of this live stream before, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already, but jump into the chat right now. Say hi, say hello, say what's up, whatever you want. I will give you your shout out. I love shouting out the early birds. So if that's you, make sure to jump into the chat, make yourself known. Let's see who we got in here. Cheesy is in here. Cheesy, good to have you, man. Christian Baron, Rage Master, Everglow, Voidy. Am I saying that right? Is it Voldy or Voidy? Hamish K. Hamish, thank you so much for becoming a champion member here on YouTube. Noah Ayash, good to have you, Noah. Yancey's in here. Jalen, Judah Rondez, Gavin Babstock, Mohammed Salah, Star Wars Nerd 101, good to have you, man. Yeti is in here. Darius the Goat, what's up, bro? Horrormore, Brady Albert, Christian Barron. I said Christian Barron, I think. Davidio Studio, Stuart Douglas, good to have you, man. Alex Burns, Alexander Cole, Everglow 101, Nightling Ping, Ransom Fellow, Hugo Mundo. Hugo Mundo? Nick Kamachia is in here. Fear the Savage. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Good to have you, dude. Darius the Goat. Mobile Gamer. Film Litical. I'm happy to have all you guys in here. Like I said, if you haven't already hit the thumbs up button, but I'm excited to walk you guys through these 5 steps because, you know, I put out a video on Tuesday about being in the friend zone and kind of dealing with that, managing that situation for yourself. But I really wanted to jump in now and talk about, hey, well, what do you do now that you're in the friend zone? How do you recover? Is it something you can do tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now? Is there a way you can ever date that person? I'm going to walk you through that. Hamish, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. It should pump up here in a second or so, but Hamish said, happy 33rd birthday, Josh. Sorry, I missed the stream. I will make sure I'm there for 34th. No problem, Hamish. Happy to have you as part of the community. I appreciate the £5 super chat, man. Yeah, it was a really fun stream. You can go back and check out the replay. I answered a lot of questions in there about dating, about my life, and about a bunch of different things. It was just an open Q&A stream. It was a lot of fun. So definitely jump in and check that out. Yeti says, no way you're 33. You seem like 19, 20. Yeah, a lot of people think I'm a lot younger than I am, probably because the content I make is for teenagers and young adults, college students. So people tend to think I'm that age usually, but yeah, I'm 33. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes jumping in here. Jalen says, get out of the friend zone by not being friends. Jalen, that's a good point. I'm going to cover that in these 5 steps here because thank you again, Hamish, for the £5 super chat. Guys, if you have a burning question, if there's something that's on your mind that you just need my attention, you need an answer from me on, you can always use the super chat function. That's what I consider. I consider it burning questions. So you could donate $1, $2, $5, whatever it is. I'll put your question front and center. I will stop what I'm talking about and I will answer your question. This is the perfect way to ask me whatever you want, to get your question seen and to get my opinion on whatever it is you're dealing with. So make sure to use the super chat function if you have a question you want to submit. But guys, moving into this idea, like I said, it's very easy sometimes when you like someone and you get friend zoned by them to think to yourself, well, is there a way I can change that? Or is there a way I can convince them to want to date me again? And a lot of people think, okay, well, I'm not going to bother them for a week and maybe they'll change their mind. I'm not going to bother them for a month and maybe they'll change their mind. But I think the time frame isn't really what matters most. It's not how long you wait between talking to your crush or pursuing them again. It's everything you do in between the first time you do it and you got friend zoned and then the next time you do it. You need to make sure you have all those small steps accounted for and you're doing the right things to have yourself in the right mindset and be in the right frame to kind of approach them where they're going to see you differently. That's going to be the key piece, guys. Anything that ever has to do with the friend zone is always going to come down to this. Sorry about that. if you want your crush to potentially date you, they're going to have to see you differently. They're going to have to see that there's a change in you, that you've grown from the last time the two of you connected. So I want to walk you through how to do that there. Let's jump into point number 1 here, guys, and that's going to be this. Step number 1, we're talking about 5 things to do before you try again with a girl that friend-zoned you. The very first step is you're going to want to disconnect from following your crush's life. This is something I think people have the most trouble with because, look, you like this girl, or if you're a girl, you like this guy, and, you know, we don't joke here in Josh Speaks Land. We joke, we have jokes. The reason why it's so difficult to disconnect from your crushes is because you like them and you want to be around them, you want to talk to them, you want to interact with them whenever you can. But I think disconnecting could be a bunch of things. Disconnecting might mean no longer following them on social media, no longer hanging out with them all the time, no longer being their sounding board for them to talk about other people that they like. Disconnecting for you has to mean being able to distance yourself from them to the point where you're not going to get hurt or feel sad or feel taken advantage of every time you interact with them. Guys, I speak from experience here. You know, when I got friend zoned in high school by the girl that I liked, the first thing I did, as soon as I got upset, first, there was a deep sense of sadness, right? Because it's like, oh, I can't be with her. You know, I got to tell her how I feel. I was nervous about it. Then when she kind of friend zoned me, there was anger. It was this kind of like, how dare you, but I like you, but I'm here for you, but I'm perfect for you. And then there was this bargaining for me, right? I forgot what the 5 stages of acceptances or whatever. It's like, you know, there was a bargaining, which was like, please, just as long as you stay in my life, as long as you stay my friends, yes, I like you. Yes, it's going to pain me and hurt me to see you talk to other guys or anything like that. But as long as you are in my life, I will accept it. And this is a major problem. I think that if you've gotten friend zoned by your crush, you need to be able to disconnect. That means pulling back from them, taking time away from them. And the reason why I mentioned not following them on social media is because that's a big piece, guys. If you continue to follow your crush on social media after you've been friend zoned and you know that every time they post a picture, it's going to make you want them, want to talk to them, want to be closer to them. Every time they comment and respond to your comment, you're going to get drawn back into liking them and wanting to make it work again. Every time they have a problem or something they want to talk about, they're going to turn to you because you're their close friend and you've agreed to be their friend, right? Even though deep down, that's not really how you feel. You kind of want something else there, but you're settling for a friendship. So disconnecting is going to be an incredibly important step. This is a hard one to do, but it's an important step to take. So I'm going to jump into a chat poll here, guys. I want to get your perspective on this. If you've ever been friend zoned before by someone that you like, or if you ever were in a friend zone position, right, where you like someone and you're afraid that you're going to get friend zoned, maybe you haven't even told your crush that you like them, or maybe you haven't even asked them out and you just are casual friends right now. Do you feel like if you got friend zoned or if you are friend zoned, it's easy for you to disconnect from them? I want honest answers, guys. Every single person right now in the chat, we got 48 people watching. I want 48 people to jump into the chat and let me know, guys, yes or no. Do you feel like it'd be easy to disconnect from your crush if you got friend zoned or if you are friend zoned right now? I know for me, it was incredibly difficult. And I think about the different times I did get friend zoned in high school and even in college. It was so hard for me to disconnect because, look, people don't exist in a vacuum, right? It's like sometimes the person you like is in your class. Sometimes the person you like is in your friend group. Sometimes the person you like is tied into your world where it's not so easy to kind of just close your eyes and turn away, right? Let's say they're part of your friend group and you decide, man, I like this girl, but she only sees me as a friend. She's still going to hang out with me and all my friends when we're around. So it's hard to disconnect. It's not the easiest thing to do. But that's why I'm asking, do you find that it would be difficult for you to disconnect? I want to hear what your guys' stories are. Let's see. Everglow says, I'm in the friend zone right now, but I'm here to fix that. Awesome, Everglow. I hope these tips can be helpful for you. Jalen says, I think so, by past crushes. Definitely. Nightling says no. Desire says probably no. Kaj says no. So yeah, you guys are saying no, you don't think it would be easy for you to disconnect. And I hear you. It's not the easiest thing, but it's an important step. Let's see. Jugo Mundo says, the old me, yeah, it was hard, but the new one, I don't care. Cool. Epic Turtle Master says, it's not easy for me at all to disconnect since I keep thinking about her. Yeah, I hear you on that. Dono says, yes. Good stuff, Dono. Voidy says, really hard. Davidio says, it wasn't easy for me. Everglow says, nobody said it was easy. It's not easy, guys. Azim, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Azim said, if you were to come across an old crush, would she expect you to be a new person, or would they still think negatively about you like they did before? That's a really good question. So here's the thing. Now, your crush has an idea of you. Let's say you haven't talked to your crush in years or whatever it is. Your crush's idea of you is frozen in time, right? And it's like that with most of us, right? If you think about someone that you knew in elementary school or junior high school, your idea of them is frozen in time. You think back to all that you know of them from that point. So if you were to interact with your crush today after this long period of time of not interacting with them, you would have to kind of undo that framing, that thought process and mindset. I was going to say you know what I meant. Thought process and mindset has to get rewired for them. And the way that it's going to get rewired is for them seeing that there's a different side of you, that you've developed a sense of confidence, you've developed into a new person. But like I said, I think their perspective of you is going to be frozen in time. Now look, to some degree they might think, wow, a lot of time has passed, maybe he's changed, and they may be more hopeful and optimistic. But I think for most of us, we kind of think of people as we remember them. So if your crush remembered you as a nerdy and shy and awkward person, and they haven't seen any Instagram story posts or anything from you in a while, they haven't talked to you, they haven't heard anything about you, they're going to probably think back to that moment. But if they've been kind of following you online and seeing your growth, seeing your transformation, but just haven't talked to you, it's very well possible that their perspective will change of you. And I can give you a really good example of that. The girl that friend-zoned me, my worst friend-zone story ever, I'll link up the video over here if you're watching a replay. I haven't seen that girl since, I don't even know, high school maybe. But we've been following each other online for years now, right? Facebook and Instagram and all these different things. So she's seen my growth. She's seen my development as a person. So every so often when she messages me or comments on something or something like that, it's always this kind of sense of like, wow, that's so awesome that you're doing, that's so cool what you're doing on YouTube. Oh, you wrote a book, that's so awesome. And there's this, she's observing and getting this kind of bird's eye view of everything that's happening in my life as I've grown. Now, if I were to run into her today, chances are she wouldn't think of me like she wouldn't think of the high school Josh. She would think of the Josh that she's seen grow along the way. And that's why I said it's like disconnecting gives you a chance to kind of break hold of what your crush is seeing. Now, there's an important point behind that. Azim, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Guys, think about it like this. If you put your hand in water, and, well, this is an experiment that they did with frogs, right? They took two frogs, and they took two pots. One pot had boiling water, and one pot had warm water. They put the frog in the warm water, and the frog didn't jump out. They put the frog in the boiling water, and he jumped out, because that instant feeling of the boiling water made the frog realize, oh my God, this is weird. But the frog that was put in the warm water, what they started to do was slowly increase the temperature, and the frog stayed in that water until eventually that warm water became boiling water and the frog boiled. It's a really horrible experiment, but that's what they did. And they realized that if you're in a situation and you don't have a break from it, right? You don't have that your normal temperature to hot water, you don't have that break, and you are gradually just kind of moving into the hot water, you're not going to notice. You're not going to notice that anything has changed, right? It's the same way that, like, you don't realize that you're getting taller every day, right? But someone that hasn't seen you in a year is going to be like, wow, you've grown like an inch, 2 inches, 5 inches, whatever. They haven't seen you. They've had that break where they can see that transformation. So disconnecting from your crush creates the space for them to now see that transformation. So I'm going to keep moving on to the next point here, guys. Let me jump in and see what some of you guys are saying in the chat here. Let's get a sip of water. Cheesy says, I know I would be able to handle the friend zone well, yet I'm lucky to not have to experience it. That's awesome, man. I'm very fortunate to have been asked out previously, and asking out my current girlfriend went well. That's awesome, Cheesy. Yeah, look, some of us haven't ever really been in a situation where we like someone and we're nervous and we get put in the friend zone, that whole situation. Some of us have. So I think it's an easy situation to envision and think about. Okay, I can see what would happen if I liked someone and was nervous, and how if they didn't like me back, I would be conflicted. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Hugo says, you escape the friend zone by disconnecting, bro. Absolutely. So that's going to be the first step there, guys. Let's move on to the second step here. Nick Cornacchia. I said Cornacchia. Nick Cornacchia says, is it a good idea to ask your crush why she's friend zoning you or no? I don't think it's really a good idea to ask them why they're friend zoning you. And the reason why I say that is because you might not get an honest answer. They might say something like, oh, I just feel like we're better off as friends, or I feel like I don't like you in that way. Like, they're going to kind of give you an answer that's going to be soft, and it's going to be kind of as non-hurtful as it can be. That's their aim. So you're not going to get an answer from them that's like, I just can't imagine being in a relationship with you. You're not going to get that. You're going to get a softer answer. So you're not going to get something that you're hoping is going to cure that situation for you. The President Duck, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. The President Duck should show up in a second or so. The President Duck says, how do I know if I'm in love or just crushing? That's a good question. I think the difference between being in love with someone and crushing on someone is this. To me, crushing on someone means you like the appearance of someone, you admire a quality about them, you think that they're funny, you think that they're interesting, you crush on them, you like something, a quality about them. To love someone, I feel, is a shared experience, right? So even if you feel this deep draw to someone, I wouldn't say that you love them, although you may feel deep inside you love them. I would honestly say that I think that to love someone is that shared experience of, I care for this person, that person accepts my care, and they offer care back. And there's a sense of care that rotates between the two of you where you have an understanding of how you both feel about each other. To me, love is a shared experience and not just a singular experience. So like, for example, you can love your parents, right? And your parents love you back. You can love your pets and your pets love you back. But to say you love a girl that's in your class that you see every single day, who doesn't really talk to you or doesn't really know you that well and doesn't really feel that same way about you, I wouldn't call that love. But that's what I would say the difference is between love and crushing. I think that you can turn a crush into love simply by getting to know that person better, spending time talking to them, finding what your similarities are, what you guys have in interests that you have in common, asking them out, hanging out with them one-on-one, spending time together to see if the two of you connect, flirting with them, eventually going in for a kiss, all these different things, asking them to be your girlfriend or boyfriend. And from there, you can start to develop that sense of love because you've taken all those steps to get closer to them, to see how the two of you really kind of overlap. Okay, let's jump into the second point here, guys, and that's going to be this. Point number two is, step number two rather, is find a hobby to master and excel in. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, Josh, what does that have to do with liking someone? That's a personal step, but I want to figure out what to do about my crush. It's incredibly important. It's an incredibly important step. By the way, President Duck, thank you for the $2 super chat. If any of you guys have any questions, burning questions, submit a super chat. I'll stop what I'm doing and I will answer. So finding a hobby to master and excel in is also an important one because a lot of times what we feel we bring to the table isn't much. We feel like, oh, there's nothing interesting about me, or there's nothing fun and nothing exciting. And if your crush doesn't see that there's something unique about you, something that's interesting, something that you do well, something that you like doing even, if they don't see that you have a draw towards something, that you're motivated, that you're interested in something, they're going to feel like you're a pretty bland person. So I want you to think about a hobby that you can master and excel in, not for your crush, not for the girl or guy that friend zoned you, but for yourself. The more interesting of a person you can make yourself into, I think the better chance you'll have of grabbing that person's attention, of wowing them, of getting them to see that you are a passionate person in what you do. So I'll give you a quick example of that, right? For me, I make YouTube videos. I'm trying to create a community on Discord here. I've written books. I talk in schools. I talk to students. I talk to people one-on-one. Like, I'm trying to build a community built around the values that matter to me, right? Being kind, being compassionate, being understanding, and helping people learn how to be their best selves. That's the kind of values I'm bringing to the table. So when people on the outside observe that about me, when they look at my Instagram feed, or they see that I'm live on YouTube, or they see something I post on Twitter, they see, wow, Josh is really driven. He really cares about this message. He cares about helping others. And that's really interesting. That makes him really unique. That makes him really stand out. And I think each of you guys, every single person watching here has something that they're interested in, something that they're drawn to, something that they like doing, something that motivates them and challenges them and pushes them. So, of course, I'm going to turn this into a chat poll because this is the moment, guys. I want you to just really, really think deeply now. Hey, Benjamin Q, no need to spam the question there. If you keep spamming, it's going to end up getting flagged by the moderators. And I don't want you to get kicked, man. I'll answer your question, but you can't spam it, really. Benjamin said, my crush said I cannot be in a relationship, but I love talking to you. Do you think I have a chance? Yeah, look. If your crush told you that they don't want to be in a relationship, but they love talking to you, then you've been friend zoned. And I think you need to follow the steps I'm going to outline here. But no need to spam the question. I'll try to catch it if I can. If you really want to put it front and center, use the super chat function. But back to the chat poll, guys, here. This is what I want to know from you. What is a hobby that you feel that you want to learn how to master and that you can just excel in? What's something you really enjoy that you're passionate about, that you want to dive more into? Maybe it's playing the guitar. Maybe it's just becoming a pro gamer. Maybe it's being an artist. Maybe it's being, playing a certain sport. Maybe it's, writing good poetry. Maybe it's drawing. I said drawing already. Think of a different, think of something that really stands out to you, something you want to dive into more, because time spent on what you enjoy and what you're passionate about is time not spent worrying and thinking about your crush. The more you can dive into these hobbies and challenge yourself and push yourself to excel in something, the less you're going to worry about, like, why should my crush care about me? What do they like? What's interesting about me? You're going to really put yourself front and center and value what you bring to the table and realize it's important. What you have to share with the world is important. So let me jump into what some of you guys are saying in here. There are no mods on right now. Oh, that's fine, Anthony. But just pointing it out anyway. Azim says YouTube and martial arts. Definitely, man. Dude, you make YouTube videos, you make movie reviews and stuff. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, listen, you got to think about this, guys. The amount of people that make YouTube videos versus the amount of people that watch YouTube videos is very, very small. It's a very, very small number. So if you make YouTube videos, you are part of an elite group of people. Not everyone does that. Martial arts also is really, really cool, man. Cameron says guitar. Luke says making songs. Stuart says, I have to disagree. It works differently person by person. Maybe I missed the first piece of that. Kid Shot says sports. Awesome. Kid Shot, what sports, hit the mic. What sports do you play, or what sports do you want to kind of jump more into? Epic Turtle Master says, I'm currently a violinist, and that's my passion for right now. That's awesome, dude. Dude, mastering the violin is super, super cool. Let's see. Evan says, working out. Dude, make those gains, man. Make those gains. Do it. Judah says, I'm learning to play the piano. Nice, man. Nice. Let's see. Matthew says, I do enjoy reading classical literature as it challenges me to read between the lines and to grasp diverse concepts. Awesome, dude. Yeah, definitely. Like, even just diving into literature, classic literature, and being able to understand, what was it like during this time period, or what did the author actually mean, or how can I understand the context of what's being said? Like, that's a really super cool skill to have. Cheesy says, I've been love playing guitar for the longest time. Expanding my knowledge of Clapton and the blues inspires me to expand my knowledge elsewhere also. Absolutely, dude. And that's an important point, Cheesy. The more you guys dive into something that you're passionate about, the more you start to say, if I dedicate time and attention to mastering this thing, then I can do that for other things as well. And you start to open yourself up to new hobbies, new interests, new ways to expand yourself as a person so that you bring more to the table with whoever you interact with. Stuart says, I want to be better at boxing. I have no doubt in that, man. I think you're going to be a killer boxer. If you're not already a killer boxer. Judah says, I'm learning to play the piano. That's awesome, Judah. Are there any songs that you're thinking about playing or learning on the piano there? Darius the Goat says, lots of interest, my guys. Name one of them, man. Name one of them. Alex Prince says, I love music and I love bands. My favorite band, Simple Plan, means everything to me and what I'm going through in life. Awesome, dude. Awesome, Alex. Rage Master says, I love technology and cycling. Really want to try to ride my bike for a long period of time. Interested in riding. Awesome, Rage Master. Have you ever thought about doing like a bicycle marathon or triathlon or any of those kinds of crazy things that people do, like 25 miles and stuff like that? Alexander Cole says, watching movies. Awesome, Alexander Cole. So you can become like a movie buff. You can know everything there is about the history of movies and the type of cinematic shots and all those different things. Rage Master says, what's your game? What's your game, Rage Master? Muzzy says, Josh, please help me. I will be going out with my crush this weekend. What tips would you advise? Muzzy, I think that if you're going out with your crush this weekend, the best thing you can do is take time to learn about their interests and their hobbies and see where the two of you overlap. Look, I'm not saying sit there and quiz them and question them like it's an interview, but really try to dive into what are their favorite movies, what do they like to do for fun, what are they passionate about, what inspires them. Learn those things so that you can also share yours and see where the two of you overlap. That's going to help you guys have a really, really awesome date. Jalen says, for me, karate, skateboarding, stunts, and playing Barney for kids. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Daniel Galladay says, my passion's videography, photography, coding, and really anything with computers. Nice, man. Nice. I appreciate that a lot. Benjamin says, I'm a YouTuber. Awesome, Benjamin. Good to have you as part of the exclusive YouTube club. But guys, yeah, as you build out that skill set, as you build out what you enjoy doing and what you're passionate about, you're going to really start to feel like you have a better sense of who you are and what you bring to the table, right? A lot of times we don't know what we're good at. We haven't explored enough. And I think, hey, you've been friend zoned. Now use this time to pull away and use this time to focus on yourself and your own development. Azim, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Should pop up in a second or so, but Azim said, YouTube is a great hobby, but what mentality should you have with the channel? Meaning not focus on fame and fortune, even though deep down you want it for popularity. Yeah, Azim, it should pop up in a second, but yeah, I hear you on that, Azim. Look, I think that a lot of people see YouTube as, well, I want to be super popular and I want to be really famous and rich. And I don't think there's anything wrong with aspiring to want to be more popular and to grow your channel and to make money off of it, make a living off of it. There's nothing wrong with that. Those are goals to have. I think where they become a problem is that if you find yourself chasing those goals, where you end up, and only those goals, where you end up is sacrificing your integrity. I think it's sacrificing the quality of what you bring to the table for the sake of what's popular and what's going to make you money fast, right? And I think a lot of YouTubers run into this problem. I've heard countless YouTubers mention that they feel like they've lost direction of their channel, or they feel like they're only making videos that a certain part of their audience wants, but they're not happy. They don't enjoy it. They don't find it fulfilling. And a lot of times it happens because people end up chasing the YouTube algorithm rather than going into their channel with a mission-guided statement. Right? A mission-guided statement might be, with my channel, I want to encourage people to do this. I want to open up their minds to this. I want to get them to think more critically. Like what I try to do with my YouTube channel is, you know, yes, I want to grow it and I'd love to be able to do it full time at some point, but where I am with it is, my mindset is, I want to interact with people. I want to allow people to see that they're heard, that they're seen, that their opinion matters. I want to give people space to share what's going on in their lives. I want us to think things through, to make mistakes and to try. So I'm coming into YouTube with that mentality, and it allows me to kind of really keep the type of videos or whatever it is I create in perspective. So I think that's an important thing to have as your perspective, Azim. A mission-guided statement that helps inform the type of content you make. Sure, you want to make videos that are going to be popular. Sure, you want to kind of understand the algorithm so you can, you know, make videos that work in it, right? For example, I did the friend zone video on Tuesday, and that video shot up to my second best video of the last 10 videos I've made. So I see that and I think, you know what? Maybe there's a deep need to understand the friend zone, or people who are in the friend zone more. I need to come back and revisit this topic. Let me see what videos I've done, and let me see maybe what I haven't covered yet and jump in and answer that. So I think approaching it from that perspective is approaching the YouTube algorithm and popularity and success of a channel in a healthy way. But that would be my kind of long answer in a way. But thank you for the $5 super chat, Azim. I hope that's helpful in some way. Let's go to point number 3 here, guys, and that's going to be this. Now, it's a short one. Reflect on what went wrong, but it's an important one. Because, look, disconnecting from your crush and taking time to yourself is important, but if you're not going to look back at what happened, if you're not going to look back at what went wrong, if you're not going to look back at what you want to do differently next time, well, then you're not going to learn anything. And this is a mistake I made countless times, and I know a bunch of you guys probably make this mistake too. You like someone, you kind of go in very soft and simple, and then you tell them that you like them, and then they tell you you're your friend. You feel bad, you move on. You find another girl, rinse and repeat. You keep running into the same struggle of constantly getting friend zoned, constantly getting rejected, constantly not getting the type of relationship you want. So you have to reflect on what went wrong. I'm going to dive deeper into this a little bit more, but Hamish, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Hamish says, Josh, remember that meme where you did the intro, but it said the Josh Simp? I do remember that, man. Yeah, look, you guys, I got to give you credit. You guys come up with some of the best memes. Look, guys, if you want to see some of the crazy memes that people are making for, our channel and everything like that, you got to go over to the Discord because it's just awesome. There's also awesome memes that always come through there. So yeah, the Josh Simp was one of them that came through. And Hamish, thank you for bringing that up. It just brought a smile to my face, man. Fun stuff. I'm going to share the Discord in just a little bit, guys. But yeah, Hamish, thank you for the £5 super chat, man. I appreciate that. But getting back to the idea of reflecting, guys. Reflecting on what went wrong means really analyzing what steps you took and saying, what can I do differently next time? So let's come up with an example here. So let's say you like a girl, but you are shy around her, or maybe the times you interact, they're very soft and very subtle. You're not very outspoken. You're not very confident. And because of that, your crush doesn't really know you that well, doesn't really see, you're just someone that's there, really. Like, you don't really stand out to them. Because you're not really outspoken. There's nothing about you that makes you stand out. And then eventually you kind of send them a message on Instagram and say, hey, I like you. I want to go out with you. And they come back with the whole, no, sorry, I just see you as a friend. So you might get one of those, right? And I think if you do get one of those, it's easy to get frustrated and to not reflect and to not think, what did I do wrong? But even looking at that example, guys, even looking at that situation, one, you maybe failed to be outspoken, to share your opinion, to talk to your crush, like to be in their space where they can see you. Maybe failed to do that. Two, maybe you confessed your feelings to them out of nowhere. They had no clue that you liked them. They just saw you as a friend. So you need to kind of lead into being more romantic with them. And then the third one was you kind of just moved on without thinking to yourself, what can I do differently next time? You didn't reflect. So that reflection piece is going to be a crucial piece when it comes to growing, guys. This is why I keep repeating it. This is why I keep saying it. I think what you need to understand here is that if you don't reflect on where you make mistakes, you're never going to learn from those mistakes. You're never going to see what you could do differently, and you're never going to kind of recognize, you know what? I tell my crush I like them way too soon. I got to stop doing that, or I got to do that differently. You're never going to come to that piece. I want to jump into a chat poll here, guys. Before I jump in and answer some of your questions here, I'm going to do a chat poll and get your perspective on this, guys. When I talk about reflecting, I want you guys to think about a time that you've gotten friend zoned, or a time you've gotten rejected, or a time that you were just too nervous to talk to your crush or ask them out. What do you think you did wrong in that situation? What could you have done differently? When I think back to a girl that I liked in college that just kind of I saw in class and she just kind of put me in the friend zone, if I had to look back and say what I did wrong there, I think what I did wrong was I played it incredibly passive. I thought I'm just going to kind of casually talk to her every so often, and maybe, just maybe, she'll want to go on a date with me, but I'm never going to ask her. So I made that mistake there. And I think that if I could have fixed it, I would have kind of been a little bit more stronger in how I felt. I would have talked to her more. I would have joked around with her more. I would have asked her out. So that's me reflecting on that situation, what I could have done better. But I want to hear from you guys. Anytime you've been friend zoned or rejected, what do you think you did wrong? What do you think you could have done better? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Darius says, sorry, I had to restart my phone because it froze, so I kind of missed part of the live stream. No problem, Darius. You can always catch the replay, or I'm going to put the timestamps after so you can check it out. Kid Shot said, what is the Discord for? I'm going to explain the Discord in just a little bit. But Allegro Cuber says, I didn't spend enough time talking to her, and she didn't get to know her. I didn't get to know her enough. Yeah, definitely. If you don't spend enough time talking to your crush, then, when you eventually ask them out, they're going to kind of feel caught off guard. It's going to feel like it's not a smooth transition to that. Voidy says, could have flirted more other than just being passive and friendly. Definitely. Flirting is going to be a key piece in having them see that you view them romantically. Cameron says, any tips on getting random people's phone numbers? My school's closing next week because of the rising COVID case, and I'd love to actually have people to talk to. Thanks. Cameron, definitely. I think what you can do is talk to the people in your class. Say, hey, let me get your number so I can create a group chat for the kids in our class so that we can just keep in contact with each other. I don't think anyone would think that's weird. I think if you just say, hey, let me get your number so you can join our group chat, I think people will be okay with that because most likely they want to stay in touch with the kids in their class as well. Jalen says, hi, Josh. I remember telling you that you wrote my crush an apology song. Do you think it will work if I ever hear from her? Jalen, it sounds to me like your crush kind of blocked you and friend zoned you because they weren't interested. I don't know if writing that apology song is going to change their perspective. Azim says, don't know how to present my new self to my crush if she still may think I'm a stalker. Want to show her how much I've changed. Absolutely, Azim, absolutely. And I think that's a big challenge a lot of us face. Wanting to show this person that we've grown because we're always doubting ourselves. I think that when you get to the point where you're no longer doubting yourself, then you'll really be at a point where you can go in headstrong because you're not going to have that negative voice in the back of your mind. Dono says, I texted my crush too much. Definitely, guys. You guys have seen that texting curve I've made in the past where it's like there's a certain point where if you text that person too much, you know, eventually they're going to be like, this person's not making a move. He's not going anywhere. Davidio says, looking back, my biggest problem was I was a nice guy. I was a nice guy. Had I known that was my issue, I would have worked on changing myself to be a good guy. Absolutely. I think that, you know, when Davidio used the term nice guy, I think he's referring to kind of being more passive, being more soft, not really being outspoken about what you want. But being a good guy means standing up for yourself, sharing your opinion, being a leader, helping others, you know, like involving them. That's being a good quality guy. Let's see. Matthew says there are too many mistakes to list. I hear you on that, Matthew. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming to think, man, I didn't do this and I did that wrong and I should have done that. It's easy to feel that way, but everything is small. Let me show you guys here. Everything is small steps, guys. So it's important to reflect one by one. Think about the little things day by day, what you did and what you could maybe do differently next time. Let's enter a few more here. Matthew says, I have weird methods of flirting. Does flirting always have to sound witty? It doesn't always have to sound witty. People flirt in all different kinds of ways. So, you know, there's lots of different ways to flirt, man. And I have a few videos that you should definitely check out. I'll link up one over here in the replay of this, but there's lots and lots of different ways to flirt. Anthony Quentel, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Anthony. I really, really appreciate it. Anthony says, just wanted to show my support for the channel. Thank you, Anthony. I really appreciate it. I'm happy to have you as part of the community, man. You know, and I'm just glad that you're a part of this experience here with us. Let's see. Communication with a woman is key because they love guys that can hold a great conversation and taking the lead. Absolutely, absolutely. If a guy can hold a good conversation, that means that he's comfortable with what he's sharing. He's open to talking. He's thinking about what he's saying, and he's kind of putting that out there into the world. He's not afraid to share his opinion. And that's a really attractive quality. We are attracted to people who are their honest selves when they're around us. And being able to speak your mind is being your honest self. But before I get into the fourth point here, guys, I do want to say this. Right after this live stream, this live stream is going to run from 5 to 6, so at about 6 o'clock, which is 20 minutes or so from now, I'm going to jump live over on Instagram. So if you have never been part of our Instagram after parties, you guys got to join. Every single one of you watching right now is invited. All you got to do is follow me over there on Instagram, and I'm going to go live over there. What's cool about the Instagram after parties is that I love to bring you guys onto video chat. So you can jump into the live stream there. You can request the video chat, and I'll bring you on. We can talk about whatever's on your mind. These live streams have a mission, have a goal. I have points I'm going through. The Instagram one is whatever's on your mind, we talk about it. So if you want a video chat with me and you can't really afford Patreon or anything like that, the Instagram after parties is the best way to do it. So I hope to see you guys over there. Now, I also mentioned our Discord, and someone had asked, what is Discord anyway? Discord is an online community platform, which has different channels in it where you can chat with people, right? So I've put our Josh Speaks community over on Discord, where people who are coming together because they want advice on dating, they want to make friends, they want to just vent about what's going on in their life, they want to ask questions, they want to help others, they want to work towards being their best selves. So if you're someone that actively watches my videos and you really are working on being your best self, the best thing you can do is join our Discord over here. Just go to the joshspeaks.com/Discord. It's free and open to everyone, so I'd love to have you as part of that community there. We just have an awesome group of people in there. Donna the Gamer is a mod in there. Cheesy's in there. I think Cheesy was in here before, but Cheesy is a mod as well. And, you know, the mods and the people that are there to kind of help create the community and make it better, just really, really go out of their way to help other people and stuff. It's just an awesome, fun, open community. So I'd love to have you as a part of it if you're not already a member. I also want to share this, guys. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, if you know, you'd rather, you know, hey, the Instagram after party is good, but I want to kind of keep our conversation private, Patreon is the best way to do that. Through Patreon, we can meet every single month and have a video chat. You know, there are a few people that I meet for half an hour a month. Some people I meet for an hour a month, depending on what level of Patreon they are in. There's even a tier, which is the mentor tier, where we can meet once a week and talk for an hour. So it could just be an hour session every week, catching up on what's going on, walking through a game plan. It's just a really good way to kind of get my direct attention and my one-on-one advice in helping you. I think it's the best way to kind of really just kind of get me to jump in and figure out what's going on in your life and to offer my perspective on things. So if you definitely want to become a patron or a YouTube channel member, all you got to do is press the little join button down below. If you become a YouTube channel member, you get access to these cool emojis over here. And you get a little icon next to your name. If you notice, Donna the Gamer has one, Hamish K has one. So you get little cool icons as well, guys. But I'd love to have you as a patron. I'd love to be able to meet with you one-on-one. I meet with a lot of cool people one-on-one, and it's fun learning and hearing people's stories. Plus, if you join Patreon at the community level, which is the $5 a month level, you join at the community level, guys, tomorrow we're doing our community group call. So if you want to just kind of support the channel and help, you know, be a part of everything and also be a part of our community video chats with the other patrons, you know, there's no better time than to do it tonight or before our call tomorrow. So I'd love to have you guys on there as well. Guys, just a reminder, at 200,000 subscribers, I'm going to make a video where I'm going to do an ASMR video where I'm drinking water. This is something that I mentioned a long time ago and someone did not let me live it down. And it's, if you go to our Discord, it pops up every so often, but I have to do it now. So at 200,000 subscribers, I'm like right at the tipping point there. I'm going to make a water ASMR video. Should be interesting. What are you doing on group? What are you doing a group call on? Azim, yeah. You've been on the group calls before. This is the community hangout. So it's just whatever's on anyone's mind. We all catch up with each other. We check in, we talk. I'd love to have you on there, Azim, if you're free tomorrow. But yeah. Let me see what you guys are saying. Matthew says, yes, make the video. I will make that video. It's going to happen. Let's see. Everglow says, hey, Josh, how do I know when my crush is done rebounding? I want to ask her out as soon as she's done. That's a good question. I did a video on this, actually, Everglow. When do you ask your crush out as soon as she becomes single? Message me on Instagram or so, and I'll send you a link to the video because I forgot the exact title of it, but I definitely did a video on that topic. Guys, we're going through 5 things to do before you try with a girl that friend zoned you, right? We're talking about a girl that you liked, that you wanted to get closer to, but she put you in the friend zone. We're talking about the little steps you need to be taking to kind of work your way up to eventually asking her out again. And the 3 steps I mentioned so far, I want to jump into the 4th one. Alex Sprint says, is it Google Hangout? No, it's going to be on Zoom. So I'll send out the Zoom link to everyone on Patreon. You'll get an email with the Zoom link and you can just join there. Darius the Goat says, Patreon costs too much money. No problem, Darius. Look, if Patreon is not something you can do because of the money factor, our Discord community is open and free. The Instagram after parties is a way to video chat with me for free. I try my best to answer, DMs whenever I can. There's also a way you can text me. If you guys don't have my texting number, I'll write my texting phone number in here so you can shoot me a text, and I talk to people through there as well. Here we go. 400, that's 29. I'll pin it for you guys. Let me pin this. Yeah, guys, if you want to, you can also shoot me a text. That's another way to communicate with me there. I'm using an app called Community where I can kind of send out mass text and I can respond to people. And it's a really cool app that allows me to kind of manage texting. So Darius, like I said, there's plenty of ways to communicate with me. Patreon just happens to be the most direct and the best way to get my attention. And everything else that's free, I try my best to get to when I can. But let's go back into the points here, guys. Like I was saying, we're walking through these 5 points, these 5 things you need to do before you kind of try your chances with that girl that friend zoned you. And here's number 4. Hey, Haley, how's it going? Good to have you in here. The 4th thing you're going to want to do is to pursue other crushes. And that means to ask out other girls. Now, you might be thinking right now, hold on a second. Let's take a step back. I like this girl. I want to date this girl. But for some reason, you want me to pursue other girls? You want me to ask out other girls? How does that help me get closer to my crush? Hey, Red Lightning, no need to jump in and say stuff. We'll leave the drama outside of the stream. This is all about helping one another. We can leave the drama outside. But I understand Red Lightning. I know why, I get it. We're on the same page. Anyway, so I'm telling you to ask out other girls, even though you want to get with this one girl. Well, why would I do that? Well, if you've been friend zoned by your crush, the best thing that you can do is to pursue other people for a few reasons. One, to practice, right? Just even practice flirting or talking to or asking out other people. You get into the habit of getting more comfortable communicating with people that you like. And you also create an opportunity where you might come across someone that you like more than your original crush. So you're not limiting yourself to this one person. A lot of people do. A lot of people when they're friend zoned, their mind says, well, this is the only person I can date. This is the only person I want to date. And I'm not going to settle for anything else. And I think what you're doing is you're letting your one-itis kick in. You're letting your one-itis make the decision for you. You're preventing yourself from gaining meaningful experience in talking to other people for the sake of waiting and hoping and holding out for your main crush. I think it's so important to ask out other girls in the meantime. While you're in that friend zone with them, talk to other girls, because along with you gaining that experience and talking to those girls, what you're also going to notice is that if your crush sees that you're dating other people, if your crush sees that you're flirting with other people, that might flip a switch in their mind and they might say to themselves, I've never seen that side of him. I never seen him date other girls. I've never seen him talk to other girls like that. And your crush now is going to start to realize that you are someone that is dateable, someone that has that potential to date. So pursuing other people really gives you more opportunities, and it helps better prepare you for your main crush. Now you may be thinking, yeah, I know, but I can't get over this one person. And I think actively going out trying to find new people to talk to, new people to date is going to help you get over that person. You're not going to just one day get over them. You need to start interacting with more people and see who else is out there to see the potential for what you're capable of. Now, I want to jump in and I want to get a chat poll going here, guys. Everglow says, hey Josh, how do I behave like a member without being one? I'm always early to the streams. I watch and like every video. I'm a member on Discord, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, and I don't have a job. Everglow, I think that there are many, many ways to be a member, right? If you join our Discord community and you're super active and you're super helpful in there, when we open up the spots for moderators, you can always apply to be a moderator. And that's definitely a way to kind of become a member in your own right. What I do too is for all the moderators and admins, I invite them onto the community hangout. So you can still be part of those community hangouts by kind of working out and being helpful in the Discord. I think, Everglow, I just want you to know, I truly appreciate having you as part of the community. I love bringing you on Instagram After Party and chatting with you and stuff. And I really do appreciate your input and your perspective in the conversations. So in my mind, I feel like you are a member of this community, and you don't have to be a Patreon member. You don't have to be any of that to be a real member of this community. All you have to do is kind of be open about how you feel, talk about your feelings, and be open to hearing other people out and helping them. I think that that's really what makes you a member of this community. Rage Master says, hey Josh, I remember that once you reach 200,000K, you're going to make another channel to focus on mindful moment. Absolutely, Rage Master. That's my goal. My plan is when I hit 200,000K, I'm going to launch that second channel. I have it set up. I just haven't made a video for it yet. Maybe I'll put the water ASMR on that channel, because that's going to be a channel with meditations. That might make more sense than putting a random water ASMR video on the Josh Speaks. All right, I'll think about that actually. But yeah, guys, going back to that fourth point, I had asked you guys to pursue other crushes. So let's get a chat poll going here, guys. I want to get your perspective. Ever since you've been friend zoned by your crush, I want a yes or no answer. So every single person watching right now, whether you're in the friend zone right now, or whether you've been friend zoned before, ever since you've been friend zoned, have you been actively pursuing other people? Yes or no? I want to hear from you guys. Yes or no in the chat. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Because look, I'm sure there's some people that are going to say no because they're just really stuck on their main crush. And it's going to be hard for them to do it. But some people might say, okay, I got friend zone. I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm going to keep trying to see what else I can do. But I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I want to know. Everglow says, Josh, how weird is it that I do this every time you take a sip? Nice, man. Let's see. Dono says yes. Allegro says yes. Martial Artist says yup. Red Lightning says I get friend zone time. Caleb says no. Jalen says sadly no, I don't want to. I hear you on that, Jalen, but this is why I think it'd be healthy for you to do it for all the reasons that I mentioned. Simpson says, where are these other people? That's a good question. It's a matter of, I think, exploring other people that are in your class, other people you're friends with online, friends of friends. So if your friends know other people that you could potentially date, getting to know them better. Just really kind of expanding your network and looking outward. I'm going to do a video on that at some point soon. Like, how do you find someone to date? Where do you look for that? I'm going to kind of dive into that as well. Muzzy says yes. Lil Jeff says yes. Cool. So it looks like a lot of you guys are moving on and you're not getting hung up on that one crush, which is a good thing. Joseph says, haven't been friend zoned yet, but I might. Let's see. Azim says, haven't had a chance to really, but it's so cool to pursue multiple people. Feels like reverse psychology. Yeah, I hear you on that, man. Everglow says, Red Lightning says, I get friend zone every time. I hear you, RB, and I think that's why it's good to reflect on what is it that you're doing wrong and try to change those little patterns. Everglow says, I would, but it's hard here in Colorado with COVID, but I want to while I wait for my crush. Yeah, look, COVID has made things 100 times difficult when it comes to dating, so don't beat yourself up if you're not in a place where you are like pursuing other people actively right now. It's understandable. Hamish says yes. Judah says 51-49. 51 yes, 51 no, 49 yes. Okay, so it's kind of hard for you to move on, but you are trying to pursue other people. I hear you on that. Let's see. Darius says, I'm banned because my account was Savage as a Goat and I can't join because of that. Hey, Darius, you weren't banned for using the word savage. I believe you were banned. I think you told me. I think you were banned for using the N-word in the one of the boards, man. So that's an automatic ban there. We don't allow any kind of language like that. Anthony says, what was the chat poll? The chat poll was, ever since you've been friend zoned, since the last time you were friend zoned, have you actively pursued other people? Let's see. Alexander Cole says yes. Darius is going to go eat. Red Lightning says your mom. I don't even know what that's. Who is he responding to? Jalen says, Josh, I remember you liking my Spider-Man post. Yeah, man, your Spider-Man post was awesome. You had a cool costume. Let's see. WS says, don't always be available. Concentrate on you and the woman will too. Fair point. Yeah, guys, so like I said, it seems like most of you are okay with the idea of moving on and not just kind of focusing solely on your crush, recognizing, hey, I've been friend zoned, I can move on. And that's why I said dating other people really creates that opportunity for you to really, really dive in. Let's jump into point number 5 here because I realize we're getting close to the hour mark. All right, point number 5 here, guys. We are at 57 likes right now. Hit the thumbs up. Let's see if we can jump this up to 60. Let's see if we can get this to 60 right now. Anyone who hasn't hit the like button yet. Step number 5 is going to be this, guys. Build a confident mindset before you talk to them. This is the final step that you need to be taking when it comes to kind of potentially asking out your crush. Again, now let me walk you through this. What does it mean to build a confident mindset before you talk to them? And Azim, this kind of goes to what you were saying before, and this is to the point there that building that confident mindset means that you've taken the previous steps and you've acted on them. You've acted on them in a way where you don't feel limited to only your crush's approval. You don't feel like they're the only person worth dating. You don't feel like however they feel about you, basically is going to determine whether you're worthy of love and care or not. Hamish, thank you for the £2 super chat. Hamish says, Josh, I blocked Arby by accident. I'm sorry. I hear you on that. I mean, look, I understand two of you guys, have your back and forth sometimes. So hopefully you guys can resolve it. I know deep down, you guys both care about each other. You both are active members of the community. And I hope you guys can work through and resolve that. But really, learning how to, where was I going with that? Being confident in yourself means you've really taken time to understand who you are. You've taken time to work on your craft. You've taken time to date other people. And in that time frame, look, that might take you a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, whatever it is. In that time frame, you feel a lot more confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. You feel like you're outspoken. You feel like you carry yourself well. You feel like you flirt a lot. You feel like you have hobbies that you pursue. So when you see your crush now, you're not going to revert back to the old nervous you that existed. And this is a big thing, guys. It's very easy to feel like you're on top of the world, but then you see that person and you shrink back to where you were. This is what happened to me, guys. I remember one of my crushes from high school. I had seen her years later. And at that point, I had already dated girls. I'd already done all these things. I felt confident who I was. But when I saw her, I shrunk back to who I was. I shrunk back to that nervous me from the time that she once knew me. And it was so hard for me to talk to her, so hard for me to communicate. I felt so insecure and weird about it. So you want to make sure you have that confident framing so that if you do run into them, you feel like, hey, you know what? I've grown as a person. I've changed. I've evolved. I feel better about myself, and that's what I want to carry forward. And that's what I'm going to show them. So that's going to be the 5th step there, guys. I want to walk you through the 5 steps again because I think it's important. We're talking about 5 things to do before you try again with the girl that friend zoned you. And the important reason why I think you need to follow these 5 steps is because it's going to help you feel prepared to eventually ask them out again. So let's walk through those 5 steps here, guys. Step number 1. If you've gotten friend zoned, the best thing you can do is disconnect from following your crush's life. A lot of us get sucked back into watching all their Instagram stories, liking all their posts, thinking about them 24/7 and just hoping and waiting that one day they'll like us back. You need to disconnect. If you're constantly following their life, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to make yourself feel bad. You're not going to be able to move on and feel better about yourself. Your focus is just going to be on them. Yeah, guys, what Dono said, no need to spam in here. Judah Rondez, no need to spam, man. If I don't get to answer your question, I apologize. You can always submit it another way or you leave it as a comment on this video and I'll try to answer it there. But like I said, guys, disconnect from following your crush's life. That's going to allow you to start to move on, and it's going to allow you to start to really recognize that there's more to your existence than just your crush. Step number 2 is this. Find a hobby to master and excel in. Guys, if you're pulling away from your crush, you're going to want to dive into something that's going to make you happy. You're going to want to dive into something that's going to help evolve you as a person. So thinking about things that you like, a hobby that you want to pursue, something you want to master and get good at is going to make you a more well-rounded and interesting person, right? You're going to learn more along the way. You're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to feel excited about the things that you're doing. And that's something that your crush is really going to appreciate. Step number 3 is to reflect on what went wrong. Now, look, as you're building yourself up, it is important to think back, hey, you know what? What are the mistakes I made? What could I have done differently? Maybe I told my crush I liked them too early on. Maybe I didn't tell them that I like them and they just kept using the word buddy or brother around me. It's important to reflect and to see where there are gaps in the behaviors and where there are gaps in what you can do differently. So if you feel like you didn't flirt enough, if you feel like you weren't outspoken enough, if you feel like you waited till the last minute to ask them out, and by that time it was too late, they already saw you as a friend, you're going to want to reflect and say, hey, the next time around, I'm going to do things differently. I'm not going to make the same mistakes. I'm going to learn from this experience. I'm going to change my outcomes. Step number 4 is going to be this. Pursue other crushes. And that means asking out other girls. Guys, if you are so hung up on your crush so you're not willing to pursue anyone else, then you're not really going to move forward. You're going to kind of stay static where you are. You're not really going to grow. So if you want to grow, if you want to kind of change your perspective and learn more along the way and become better in your own right, I think it's important to pursue other people. right? Pursuing other people opens you up to kind of practicing those flirting skills. It opens you up to meeting someone that potentially might be better than your crush. And it opens you up to kind of feeling like you're a more attractive person, like you're a more desirable person. And all that culminates to this, guys, building a confident mindset before you talk to them. If you are working on yourself, if you are correcting your mistakes, if you're pursuing something that you're passionate about, if you're asking out other girls, and when you're ready to finally go back to your crush and be confident, they're going to see that new you. So when it comes to reapproaching that crush, guys, when it comes to coming back to them and seeing your crush, maybe you haven't seen your crush for a few years and you run into them in the mall, or maybe you see them in a new college you're going to, or maybe you just kind of see them at a party, whatever it may be. Now that you're there in front of them, you can say to yourself, so much has happened in my life. I've grown so much and I've changed so much that the person you knew back then no longer exists. I'm the new me. I'm the confident me. And I'm the me that I'm going to introduce you to. So I want you to think deeply about that. Hey, we're at 68 likes. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up, let's get this to 70, guys. I think we can get this to 70. But those are the 5 points I wanted to cover here, guys. I think it's crucial if you're in the friend zone to really follow those steps, because I think that's going to be the way that you're going to move forward and you're going to succeed with your crush. Now, guys, I think you know what time it is. It is time for our mindful moment. These are my favorite parts of the live streams because what I like about the mindful moment is that it's a moment for us to reflect on the points that were shared and to think deeply about something that resonated with you, something that stood out, something that made sense, something that clicked, something that made you say, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try harder. I'm going to do better my own way. So I want you guys to reflect on it. I have my meditation bell right here. As you can see, the little bell in the corner there. I have my little meditation bell. And if you're watching right now, and you don't have to if you can, but if you can, I want you to close your eyes along with me. And I want us to take 10 seconds, guys, 10 seconds to think deep down inside about that confident you that exists. It may not be here today. It may not be here tomorrow. It may not be here a week from now. But it is there. It is a dragon inside of you. That fire is burning. And as you work on building up your confidence, when you finally reapproach your crush that friend zoned you, you're going to come with a whole different perspective. So we're going to listen to the sound of the bell, guys. I want you each to think deeply about that confident you that exists inside. The one that you're going to start to let out and you're going to show the world along with your crush. Let's take 10 seconds, guys. Think deeply about that. First, we warm up the bell. Let's close our eyes and think about the confident you that exists. I know that each and every single one of you has what it takes to be somebody great. And just because you're in the friend zone now doesn't mean you're always going to be there. Look, sometimes your crush may decide they still don't want to date you, but that's okay. Because all the growth that you've made over time is not for your crush. It's for you. And you have everything you need right now to be your best self. So guys, thank you so much for being a part of this live stream. I really hope you enjoyed it, guys. Head on over to Instagram for the Instagram after party, or if you're watching the replay, check out the video I have listed over here where I'm going to dive into the friend zone and explain a little bit more about how to escape it. Thank you guys for being a part of this live stream. This was an awesome live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys next time. As always, love and peace. See you guys then.